Perfect. So following Eric, it's funny I'm following Eric because I'm heavily inspired by Eric with a lot of stuff I end up building. So you're going to see some of those same thought processes in my table as well. I'm actually going to run through exactly what this table does. But long story short, if you sell SaaS, if you represent a SaaS company, this is an industry agnostic template that'll create an entire sequence for you. So all you need to do is plug and play with a few variables, and you'll see every single column that actually needs to be played with is going to say edit me. And within there, there's going to be in parentheses instructions and an example of exactly what you should be putting in to make this work. A lot of stuff is going to get spit out. So I'm going to show you exactly how it works. And while it's running, I'll show you what ends up happening. So the way you start, you do a quick import from any company. I'm going to use LinkedIn to do this. You can do it in a few different ways. You could import from Apollo, whatever it is, however you find your data. I'm just going to do a quick LinkedIn search within Clay. So the company that I'm using, I already have everything plugged in. I'm going to use Rippling as an example because Rippling's a company that most people are familiar with. They're a really big SaaS company, and they sell HR software. I know that Rippling typically sells to a lot of software companies as well. So I'm just going to include in the company type that I'm doing here, embedded software and software development products. I'm going to go anywhere from 500 to 1,000 employees, and I'm going to keep it in the United States. You can get more granular with the search depending on what you're actually trying to do and who you're trying to reach out with. I'm going to start with that. I'm also going to limit the results here to, let's go 20. And we're going to preview these companies. So what I've already done in the back end is what I'm going to show you guys right after I do this. So you can see all these companies that pop in. Looks good enough. Import them in. So while these are importing, I'll walk through what's actually happening behind the scenes. All right, so you can see right here, you're also going to have to put in edit me for your company name. So I'll go ahead and put Rippling in there. But while this is running, you'll see that I'm only looking for profiles that match the persona that I'm reaching out to. So in this case, it would be an HR executive. Think CHRO, VP of HR, director of HR, things like that. We're going to find those contacts. And if, and only if, we find a validated work email, everything else will waterfall. So I'm going to go ahead first and put in the company name here. So you'd put in whatever company you're representing or you're selling from. In my case, it's going to be Rippling. So let me put this in. My computer moves in slow motion. Let me share my screen. All right. Save that. That's going to populate down every single row. All right, boom. So now you're going to see all of these things happening. Now what's happening here is it's taking their department based on their job title, and it's normalizing that to say department rather than VP of HR at whatever company they work at. It's just going to say human resources. It's also going to normalize the name of their company. So you can see, not really a great example here, but basically if there was a weird name like Drake Software LLC, it's going to remove that LLC and just say Drake Software. Then it's going to clean their name. It's going to separate their first name from the rest of their name. And then also using Claygen, so similar to what Eric talked about, it's going to scrape, and this is another column that you'd edit, but I put in Rippling's product page for their HR software. It's going to scrape that software page for that product. It's also going to scrape against this company's LinkedIn URL, and it's going to correlate that product to what it can do for that company. And it's going to come up with bolded responses. And I actually did get inspired by Eric for this. So if it looks familiar, that's why. But so that's going to happen. And then it's also going to find job title pain points. So specific to that job title that this person has, it's going to take industry pain points that they may actually face in their role. Then it's going to convert those into a question. And then similar to what Eric did also, where this edit me column, it's going to look for another alternative contact within that company. So if that person doesn't respond, we're going to call this person out on a first name basis in email too. So as you can see, all I did was import those companies, and I have 3 emails spit out for everyone that matched the criteria. So I'll show you what those 3 emails actually end up looking like. We'll use this one, Smart Bear. All right. I'll let you guys take a second to read that. Give you guys a few more seconds there. So that would be email 1. And the whole point of it is you're literally correlating exactly what your product offers to what their company does and coming up with actual solutions for them that your product can do for them. All of this is automated. Email 2 in the sequence, You're going to call this person out, Rami Haddad. Calling them out directly. Now, alternatively, if that person doesn't exist, so you can see here, no profile found, the alternative contact that I was looking for, there's alternative messaging that will pop in because obviously you're not going to call a blank name out. So that's what this would look like. So you got that. And then lastly, this would be the last email in the sequence. So this one, you're really just looking for a way for them to respond. It's a soft breakup. So that's what spits out from all you have to do is go into these edit me columns, plug in maybe a total of 10 words and hyperlink and import companies, and all of this will run automatically only for the things that you're actually looking for. So if that validated email shows up, the rest will waterfall. If not, it won't, which saves you Clay credits, which saves you OpenAI credits, and just makes your life cheaper and easier. That's my table. Heavily inspired by all the guys on this call. So really excited to see what the rest of them have to share.
I just want to I hope you guys know what you literally are watching. All he did was import companies from Clay, and it just wrote an entire email sequence ready to go. And he's giving you this table. So this is in my opinion, mind blowing. And I really appreciate you sharing it, Alex, because it's genuinely crazy.
I appreciate that.
When he shares this, guys, I would highly, highly recommend going in and using it. It's this is pretty much just automating your entire email sequences with a template. So anyway.
The one thing I will say, another thing you would need to do is in this first email, I intentionally did not put a CTA or an offer. That's going to be up to you, depending on what company you work at, to find a compelling CTA or offer that you can add in that first email. Also, I highly recommend testing a few different variants to make sure you find something that actually sticks. But that's it.
Thanks a ton, Alex. This is a banger. Again, please share it in the comments. We will also share it in an email after the webinar is over, so you guys can, of course, access the template there as well.